Allison is over at the back. She has this fascinating viewpoint of our intensives because she illustrates them. And she's been doing it for a few years now and really draws out powerful insights from this and puts them up in a way that I'm a visual learner, so I love this and get to share this with our community. When I first met Allison, I didn't quite get it. Talk about people you don't want to work with, right, Kelly? I looked at her website, and her website has butterflies and rainbows and fairies. It's not really my thing. And then we started this conversation, and we started what's been a relationship for, do you know how many years now? Yeah, 2.5 to 3 years. And Allison's one of my favorite people in my community. Because she does things her way, her own unique way. She still has the fairy wings and the butterflies on her website. Never changed that. She uses social media in a way that sometimes I could be quite disparaging about social media, and she's learned a way to find out how she loves to use it and bring it into enrolled clients through Facebook and all sorts of other ways that work for her. So for me, she's a real example in our community of be you. I love how Allison creates clients her way. I love how she does things her way, and I asked her to come and speak to you her way. Before I ask her to give her a round of applause, do you need these chairs moved off the...
The ladies know exactly what to do.
Great. So can you put your hands together for Allison Crow?
Test. And while we're moving that, let's just take a breath together. And let me look and see who's in the room, who I'm speaking to. Thank you. I'm Allison Crow, and I want to introduce you to a version of me that one person in this room actually knew. It's Lauren. In February will be my 10th birthday as a coach, and I started out as a hardcore performance real estate sales coach. I was in the real estate industry and excelled really quickly as a rookie. I had just gotten a divorce, and I did really well and was asked to be the first, what was called a productivity coach in the world for a global real estate company. Before that, in high school, I was all-state MVP basketball player. I was number 7 in my class out of 40 people, and 39 of those had a 4-point average. I excelled at everything I did, and I wanted to make my family happy, my parents happy, me happy. I tried to look good and be good. And as a coach in the real estate industry, I was the fucking bomb. I was amazing. And I was on stage a lot. I think the largest audience was 10,000 people. I dressed to the nines. For years, I would straighten my hair. So today I have my hair straightened for you guys. And I'm wearing the professional clothes that were every day for me because that's what you were supposed to do. You had an appearance and you needed to look professional and you needed to be a leader. Helen's nodding her head. And for a long time, I bought what the world was putting on me. that I should stand up straight, that I should look a certain way, that I should be a size 6, that I should have a clean mouth, that I shouldn't use sexual innuendo, that you shouldn't have fairies and fairy wings and rainbows on your website, and that you had to give a bullet point list of bullshit promises. You had to have a niche. You had to make 100 calls a week, that prospecting was everything. Not only did I buy it, I preached it. And somewhere inside, I got a little uncomfortable. I started to recognize the itch that Barb talked about, and I started to recognize the itch that Helen talked about. And so before I move on to the next part of my story, I want to share with you the impact of wearing this outfit. So I have on these probably 3.5 to 4 inch black faux crocodile heels. And I can feel the pain not only of my toes being squeezed together, but I can feel the energy going up my back. And it's not flow energy, it's my body and psoas muscle is straining to protect me. They look good though. I mean, I do it well. Clothes fit me well. A pencil skirt. We had spoken amongst the 4PC group. Mark was going to wear a suit. And Christina mentioned a pencil skirt, and I was like, I fucking rock a pencil skirt. They were made for me. But I feel tight. I feel really compressed. I feel safe, not emotionally, but in front of what other people think. And so there was a time in my life that I began to listen within. I also made sure I had coaches and mentors outside of my community for a different perspective. I still do that to this day. I go all in, but I always keep my mind open to outside the group. I like to keep learning from people who are different from me. And I read a book by Wayne Dyer, who passed away recently. Wayne was like my soul dad. And it was called Your Sacred Self. And I had been doing a lot of spiritual work, but that book, specifically chapter 2 or 3, just helped me realize all the things that I was not. I am not my family, I am not my origin, I am not my looks, I am not, even the hardest one for me is that I am not my business, I am not my coach, I am not coach, I am just spirit in this body. And as I began to realize that, I began a metamorphosis and to shift. And so the first thing I did was lose the 4-inch fucking heels. Those are literally the only pair I have left. And then I began to get out of the wool and polyester blend suits, usually from Banana Republic. And the shirts that, frankly, when I get on stage, I love being on stage. I love it. I eat this shit up. But I sweat. And cotton and polyester just don't let anything, or even, I'm not doing silk. You ruin that shit. But this stuff has to be dry cleaned. So like you buy the shirt again every single time you take it to be cleaned. So I got rid of those. What's underneath was this fucking garment. This is meant to suck in everything and constrain me so that you don't see that I am no longer a size 4 or a 6 and 120 pounds at 5'10", but that I am now 172 pounds. My boobs are smashed. They're not even lifted, they're just... Oh, it gets worse. My crotch is sweaty. It's not what you see in Victoria's fucking Secret, all glamorous. It's musty down there because of this. And my thighs are shoved together. If any gentlemen want to try this on, maybe men have something similar, but and so of course this had to come off. Down to my tighty-whities, cotton underwear. Ladies, cotton. It's a miracle fabric. And it allows energy to move. My boy short underwear instead of those things that ride up your ass. And frankly, my Target no underwire bra. Just comfortable. My extra 30 to 40 pounds of, frankly, happy fat. I wondered for years, I literally, guys, I was like 37 years old and I didn't understand why I still had my 19-year-old body, but you know what I was? I was going from 6 o'clock in the morning, I had an hour commute. I'd have 13 to 15 coaching sessions a day. I'd drink a bottle of wine with my friends at the office. Then I'd go have dinner and drink a little bit more, and then I would drive home. And get into bed and take care of my husband. Fortunately, my stepkids, my bonus kids were a little bit older, so I never had to do the real mom thing that you moms do. And for a while, I quit that to walk away, and I got scared shitless that my husband would leave. I was going to start my own coaching practice. And he was terrified. We were newly married, both of our second marriages, and he'd never met an entrepreneur before. My husband retired in December at 52 from his first job that he took as a teacher. He's had a paycheck every single month on the last business day of the month for 29 years. Not the Crow family. We were realtors. We didn't call it entrepreneurs, but we were self-employed. And I didn't want to lose him. I'd been left before. And I guess I can blame it on him, but I was terrified. I can't believe I'm standing up here so long. I was supposed to tell this part while I had some clothes on. You know, but I was still wanting to please him. And I remember being at like a weekend intensive, and I just kept saying, I want Bill to trust me, I want Bill to trust me. And someone introduced me to Byron Katie and the 4 questions in the turnaround. And I go straight to the turnaround now. I don't even do is it true. I know it ain't fucking true. And it's not Bill that should trust me, it's me that should trust me. And I had gone back to work at my company. I actually quit and then got a promotion because that's how good I was, even though they hated me. I was the Pied Piper. I outshined the masters. They didn't like it, but they needed me. So I went back for 2 years, had 47 clients, was now working from home, was giving them 60%. And it still wasn't right. Anything I wanted to create outside of it, they wanted to own, and I felt more and more in that space, constricted. And I remember looking at my husband, who is 1.5 feet taller than me, it feels like, and I had that realization, it's me, I have to trust me, and I did. And I looked at him and said, if you need to leave our brand new marriage because you can't be with a woman, a partner who has to take risk, and maybe has to get a little debt, and has to try this thing that you think is a pipe dream, I promise I will let you out of our marriage, and I'll never cuss you or hate you, but I need to know now, either you're in or out. And from that day on, he's been my biggest fan. It was never about him, it was about me. Yeah. And so this was the beginning. I had to take all that off, all that I didn't trust, and get back down to the real me. And I began to reclothe and rebuild and rediscover who I really was at heart, authentically. I'm a blue jeans girl. I'm in love with this new brand of t-shirts called Super Love Tees. I found them on Pinterest, and I played this little game on Facebook where if somebody would send me a t-shirt, I sent them a painting, and I got like 10 t-shirts. They're cotton. And I can wear my religion now on my chest. Chuck Taylor's. Or Birkenstocks. The last time I did this talk, I broke my last pair of conservative earrings, and I wasn't willing to buy anymore. But I began to get the artificial stuff out of I wasn't attracted to it anymore. I wasn't attracted to plastic jewelry or faux jewelry, but stone, I just began to tap in and feel the energy of stones. And the colors, I started seeing colors. I see the rainbow in the room right now. And the more I became tapped into what I really liked, what was my voice, fuck all those shoulds. Not all those people, they were doing the best they can, but it was my responsibility for taking it on. My intuition really started to fire up. And I began to live not only as this free version of Allison, but the fourth step was I began to embody the spirit now that wasn't just a Sunday morning thing. But I began to honor my inner whisper, my divine business partner, and my divine, wild, and free, intuitive self. And our friend Rafa, who passed away, if you look at the Facebook pictures, he's been wearing these amazing garments, very tribal from his country. And when I first met him, he wasn't wearing that. You know, it's like all leather jacket, cool dude. And then he came in a suit one time, and then he shows up in this thing. And he says, this is why I'm wearing it. He tells us this big, long story, and we're thinking there's some sacred, holy, passed down from some ancestor that lives in a cave and doesn't speak to anybody. And Raphael says, I am wearing this because it's fucking badass. But for me, that was the embodiment of being more than human, of recognizing that we are the divine here, and the divine comes to me through color. I'm shaking. The divine comes to me through color. And now through painting. I've been creating art for the last 2 years, and I use art in my coaching to help people get messy, to play with process. To be divine, wild, and free. I want to tell you quickly and finish the impact that this has on me by just letting you look at my face. And my smile and my happiness and my joy. I am Allison Crow. Thank you.